Hey everybody, GameHounds podcast. Yeah, goddamn
Every
audio. Yeah,
single
every single
week.
week it's an audio issue, and I'm absolutely have an audio issue again this week. Yeah, and officially, yes, I am using my AirPods because that's the only thing that works. So we're only can do this long enough for the AirPods to last. So
Wait, how long
this
does the
this the
AirPods
show
charge
is
have?
they're full charged, so they
Yeah, how long does
probably
that
have
last?
maybe an hour, hour and a half. I think I have another set somewhere.
I have a set of wireless earbuds that could last several hours.
Okay, maybe this lasts several hours. I don't
And
know.
Apple, motherfucking Apple, creates
I
something
don't
that lasts
know.
only an hour.
I don't know, Nick. I
Fucking
don't know.
chuck those things,
I don't.
burn them in an effigy.
I
Create
don't.
create a little voodoo doll of Tim
Look,
Cook,
seriously,
put the earbuds in
I
him,
don't
and
need
then
one
burn it.
more person, jawing at me about how my life is fucked up right now. Okay, just please,
Not your life, just the
please.
earbuds.
Okay, about how I've done everything wrong. I already got out twice already this week. Thank you. Sorry, everyone. So, let's see. What else is new? I mean, we might as well just jump into news because I haven't got anything else that.
Okay, I mean, I still have games that I played last week that I didn't talk about because I
Excellent.
did so
Perfect.
much last week.
Yeah.
Although I will say, um,
Mhm.
just as a demonstration, so the Olympics are on,
Yes,
and
they are.
I always really, really enjoy the Olympics because you get to
Hmm.
see cool sports that you don't usually see, like fencing or sports climbing, rugby. Now there's gonna be
Women's fencing, we won gold and silver today.
don't fucking tell me that. I didn't see it yet. Anyways, I was watching rugby last night, but the Odin, the handheld,
The
it's an
Odin.
emulation device, right? It
Hmm.
plays older games, it plays some Switch games.
Hmm.
Um, but since okay, I need to turn around. Can you see it?
Can I see? Yes, I can.
Okay. Since I played, since I got Game Pass,
Hmm.
I can open the Game Pass app.
And you can watch the Olympics on your Odin.
No, I can play Path of the Goddess, the Kuni Itsu,
Uh
Path of the
huh.
Goddess, the Game Pass game. I can stream it from the cloud
Uh huh.
to the Odin.
Nice. Very cool.
So that means I can play a yeah, it says syncing data, so it's syncing
Hmm.
with the console.
Hmm.
And yeah, now I can play the Xbox Series X game on the handheld.
Are you all not impressed? I gave up and got $10 pack of cheap wired earbud. The expensive stuff always breaks down anyway. It's not the breaking down. It's just I'm cursed. I'm just cursed. Just that's this is the sooner we all realize that I am cursed when it comes to audio devices, the sooner that we all understand each other better. So
Yeah,
yeah, there it is, the Odin 2. The
so
more
that's
that
cool.
you
Really
show
cool
me
device,
that
and
Odin, the more I'm convinced I should probably get an Odin.
it's really cool. And what's awesome is it allows me to like play games like this while watching the Olympics. That's kind of the point.
Hmm.
Um, but I also did buy a 1.5 terabyte SD
Hmm.
card to replace
Oh
the
God.
terabyte SD card currently in there because I need more games. I need more games on there. All the games. Even if it's a game I never played, even if it's a game I don't like, I need it on here because this this is a museum at this point, right?
Hmm.
With a 2 terabyte SD card, or I've gone down a rabbit hole of like, all the 2 terabyte SD cards? No, the technology isn't there yet, but there is one coming out later this year. So, get ready. But with that, you can kind of get all of gaming's history on a handheld device, which is
Hmm.
nice because all of gaming's history is kind of inaccessible unless it can be monetized and sold to you again and
Hmm.
again. So it's kind of nice to actually have a personal museum of gaming history. But
Yeah.
In terms of what else I've actually been playing,
Mhm.
I've been playing The Curse of the Golden Idol,
Okay. Tell
which
me
I've
more.
I've been playing on my phone and tablet because this is actually available through Netflix.
Mhm.
This earlier this month, it came out on as part of Netflix's game efforts. Which, slight digression, I do kind of like what Netflix is doing in that a lot of their first party games are really cheapo interactive fiction based on their TV shows. Like,
Is it the Curse of the Golden Idol or the Case of the Golden Idol?
oh, the case, it's the case.
Okay.
But yeah, Netflix is making like all these cheapo interactive fiction things like Money Heist, interactive fiction, Emily in Paris, interactive fiction, what Too Hot to Handle, like choose your own adventure things. But then those games seem like they're subsidizing every now and then. Netflix is like, hey, we're gonna get like a classic game. We're gonna get something fucking good and put it on a
Mhm.
service. They got Into the Breach, Immortality, Bastion. I think they have Dead Cells, and most recently, like Case of the Golden Idol.
Mhm.
So this is basically a kind of logic puzzle game. You're given a scene, and the scene is kind of frozen in time. And you kind of just click around that scene, gathering information.
Mhm.
What is this person? You look at a bag, and the bag kind of has some stuff in it. There's lots of books and notes that you click on and you read. And every now and then you'll get a keyword. Maybe that keyword is a name, like David Goran. Maybe that keyword is like uh, killed or spy or cricket or just some other random thing. And you use all those. You kind of work your way through the scene, clicking through the location, and you use that to kind of play an ad libs puzzle where you then have to fill in the blanks to figure out what happened. Eh, There's always a murder, there's always a death. And so you just kind of you figure out who died, how did it happen, and why did it
Mhm.
happen.
Mhm.
And so, like in this instance right here, you've kind of the scene is kind of a cult initiation. And so you're reading a bunch of information about this cult. There's dark hands, there's proud beasts, there's water snakes. There are ranks, master, steward, initiate. You've got these names: David Goran, Lazarus Hurst, Walter. And a lot of times you'll get a first name. And it's like, oh, I know that Walter is this guy, but what's his last name? And his last name, you kind of have to go through a logic puzzle of sort of working through, well, this guy said, like, Goran and Keen go here. And it's like, oh, wait, Goran went over here, but he was with Walter. That means Walter must be Keen because these two guys were together. And it's a lot of that kind of if A, then B, then C logic. And as you go through it, it gets more and more complex. Like, the kind of spaces that you're exploring really grow huge. It goes from a like single campfire to a room to a building to like the countryside where
Mhm.
you're seeing multiple locations and trying to figure out, okay, someone went somewhere in the morning and died. Someone else went somewhere in the afternoon and died. Someone else went somewhere in the evening and died. Who went where? Who killed who? Why? What happened? Uh, and it's all really, really cool. Uh, the logic holds together pretty well. There are a couple instances where I definitely had to resort to the hints because I wasn't quite sure where the game wanted me to go. But what is nice is that as you're going through the kind of ad lib section where you're kind of filling in the blanks for what happened, the game will tell you if you have two or less things wrong. So, like, as you're
Mhm.
putting stuff in, and you get there and you're like, oh no, it's wrong. It's not filled in correctly. It's not filled in correctly. It's not filled in correctly. Oh, I switched something around and now it says you have two or less things incorrect. And what's nice about that is, you can kind of then take a name out and replace it. And if it switches and says, oh, this is filled in incorrectly, that's correct. So from there, you can kind of like metagame the answer sheet to figure out what specific answer you have wrong. And then you can kind of work backwards from there and say, okay, it wasn't Lazarus Hearst who was the murderer. So then I'm going to remove that and try to figure out who else did it. And at a certain point, you can kind of brute force it. Like if there's a name wrong in the end and there's one name wrong that you have, you can go, well, I know all these people's names. So if it's not Lazarus Hearst, let me remove that name and just put in another two names. Nope. Remove those, put in another two names. Nope. Put in another two names. Nope. Put in another two names. Ah, that's it. Okay, good. So there's that kind of makes it, helps prevent you from like getting permanently stuck. Is that when you reach that kind of, oh, you're almost there threshold, you can kind of brute force your way the rest of the way. And that's just a nice bit of usability. But yeah, overall, it kind of tells a really interesting story about this golden idol and how these people found this golden idol and kind of fought over it for a bit and then created a cult around the golden idol, and how like the story of the golden idol just kind of grew and grew and grew. And what's also really awesome is that a sequel is coming out, I think, later this year, called The Rise of the Golden Idol. And I think it will come out on Game Pass day one.
Really?
Um, and that's really cool to get into this game and then find out, hey, there's a sequel right on the way. So yeah, really cool thing. It's constantly saving, which is nice. So that when I'm playing it on my phone, if I close my phone and then come back to the app, 10 minutes later, it has saved everything that I've done like automatically. So there's
Nice.
no possibility of you losing progress because it's saving things so quickly. Oh, now you can see the ad lib sheet. Blank blank
I
was
see.
blank to a blank ritual. He, along with blank blank, ambushed blank 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 blank, posing as blank blank to blank blank with a blank, which blank.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, it's really cool.
Yeah.
The UI on mobile devices is a little different, but it's still like really usable. And so yeah, right now you're looking at the scene and he's putting in, I think this character, this name goes to this guy. I think this rank goes with these people. And yeah, when you get everything filled in correctly, the game tells you. And so that's really useful because you can then kind of use that information in all the other sides of the puzzle.
Hmm. Very cool. I'm actually really liking this, and I think I want this game. And
Yeah.
it's a Netflix thing?
Yeah. So if you have Netflix on your phone, open the app. I believe uh, I think you have to click through. You have to go through the Netflix app in order to download it.
Okay.
I don't think if you just like go to the App Store, you can get it. But
Hmm.
like very first thing, as soon as I open it up, you can see they have mobile games on there. And if you scroll, it's all blurry, which is annoying. But yeah, you can see it's right there.
Uh-huh.
Scroll enough and you'll find it. Just scroll past all the too hot to handle um, Netflix slop.
All right, I am totally down for this game. This actually sounds really, really cool. AC Ray says it's on Netflix, Steam, Switch, and Xbox, so I actually don't need to download it off of Netflix.
No, but if you download through Netflix, you can play it for free. It's
Free,
part of
right?
your Netflix subscription. You don't have to
Right.
like buy it outright.
Got it. Okay, so next game.
Next game that I was playing again last week and a little bit this week is the Dealfield Chronicles,
Hmm.
which is a Square Enix like kind of real-time RPG that came out last year, and it got decent reviews. It didn't really set the world on fire, but it just kind of came and went. Uh, it's a really interesting real-time strategy game because it's a real-time strategy game played only with hero characters. Excuse me. Uh, and so what that plays like is you'll start a level with like 4 characters. And each of those 4 characters you level up like you do in an RPG. They have different abilities that take HP or that take MP. You can heal them. Uh, you've got like your damage dealers, you've got your healers and your magic users, you've got your tanks. And so a lot of it is uh, if you get within range of an enemy, they will
Hmm.
automatically start attacking you.
Right.
And so a lot of how the game works is kind of using that aggro to your advantage, because if you hit someone in the back, you get a significant damage bonus from that. So a lot of it is AC Wraith says it's the Dealfield Chronicle, not plural, which is a little weird because I'll get into the
Because
story
then
later.
it makes it sound like it's a newspaper.
Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of the technique is like you send your tank out first to get the aggro and sort of attract the enemy, and then you have your tank run past the enemy so that they
So that
turn around.
their back is positioned away. Right.
Exactly. And then that's when you have everyone just like go hog wild on them and like use all your special abilities to kill them. What's neat though is that you get like you have 4 characters that you can use in each level. But each of those 4 characters can have like a sub character kind of attached to them. And
Hmm.
that sub character lends them their abilities. So let's say you can have the archer and the healer. You have the archer in the game, in the level, but the healer is their sub character. That means the archer kind of gets access to the healer's spells.
Right.
And so that means even though the healer isn't in the level, you can still use their abilities. And that's very useful because like you don't want the healer in level because they just don't do as much damage, but you still want those spells. And so a lot of it is kind of figuring out who do you want in the level with you and who do you want like providing support. And if there's an emergency, you can actually switch out the characters and have them get replaced. So if one person gets really low on health, you can switch them out for someone stronger.
Hmm.
But overall, it's just a really neat game. It's a little easy. I haven't really run into any like deep challenge, and the story is kind of awkward in that after every single level, there's a time skip. So after every level, it's like a time skip of a month, and there's a narration that plays and says what happened. And
Hmm.
so the chronicle in the title makes it feel like this game wants to tell a grand epic story about this kind of island nation that's being invaded by the continent, and like the big epic chronicle of the Dealfield Island. But they don't really have the budget to tell that grand story, and so they're like, okay, you're gonna play a level, and then we're gonna tell you what happened. We're gonna narrate it over some static pictures, and then you're gonna get to play another level, and then we're gonna narrate what happened.
Oh, it's almost like Spiders.
Yes,
Spiders
yes.
does that stuff too.
And so it
It's
really
like
feels like a
we want to do a really grand RPG, but we really don't have the budget to do a grand RPG. So we're
mhm.
gonna give you all the gameplay and then just fill in all the PG part.
Yeah, that is absolutely what it feels like. Which is a little awkward, but thankfully the gameplay is fun. But it also means that the characters are really, really thin. I don't really give a shit about any of these people.
AC
Um,
Ray says Square offers a collector's edition with a board game, or did. It says it's for pre-orders in 2022, but they still had the ad on the page. Oh God.
this would make a really interesting board game because it essentially plays like a faster version of Warhammer or something like that, right? Where you've got a
Interesting.
range of attack, and if a character gets within that range, then the other person can attack them, and you have a range for your attacks. You have to get within that range and attack them, and positioning matters. That'd be kind of cool as a board game.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
apparently it is.
it's an interesting game. It's not gonna make my top 10 of the year, and like I'm more interested in Path of the Goddess. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's way more fun, and I've been playing more of that. But it's just has a thing that exists. It's really interesting, and they don't really make RPGs like that. That kind of
Yeah.
real time hero based RPG.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a cool example of something that kind of stands on its own gameplay wise.
Right. All right. So next
Yeah,
game.
that's mostly what I played. I played a little bit more of the Front Mission 2 remake, but that game is hard as balls, and I encountered a fight that absolutely kicked my ass. And
Mm-hmm.
so now I'm thinking maybe I should just stop and play like something else.
Yeah. I definitely need to start playing something else. The I've been playing that Raid Rush
Mm,
mobile game because I've been, not at home with my Xbox. I am very, very tempted to get that Fire Stick Xbox bundle. Very tempted. This is kind of a situation where it would be a perfect solution because I don't know if you could see, but I'm like in Chris's office,
mm-hmm.
and that's his. He actually has his television. I don't know if you can see it. See that giant TV? That's
That
his
is a
computer
massive
screen.
monitor. That's
That is
insane to me.
that's he. Well, it's a TV. He uses it as a computer screen, so he
Yeah,
can
that's
have
what's
all.
insane to me.
Yeah.
When
Um,
I was a kid, my parents always told me, "Don't
don't
sit
sit
too
so
close to the television."
no. I think about that every time I sit down in front of that thing. I'm like, oh, I don't feel good about this. Um,
You're
but
gonna
yeah, I
hurt your
mean,
eyes.
yeah, you're gonna go blind like that. So that's not the only thing I was gonna go blind from, but that's a whole other conversation. Um, but I kind of want to stick a Fire Stick in that and use it as an Xbox on the regs here when
I
I'm
mean,
when I'm over
that would
here.
absolutely work.
It would absolutely work. I know, and for $80.
Well, $80 plus an ultimate subscription.
Right, but I have an Ultimate subscription.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, that's less of an issue.
Yeah, exactly. So it's only for 80 more bucks I can actually have my Xbox here. And I see Chris, I get the little notifications on my phone that Chris Salazar has gone, fighter races online. And I'm like, oh man, I really wish I could play some right now.
Oh, did you get a notice of that?
Yeah, I get that on the regular. Whenever
Oh,
Salazar gets on online, I could see him get online. If any of you are on Xbox and we're friends list, then we would have that too. I could always see when you get online. Then we could play together. Oh, hey, we got goalie in the room. Hey, what's up,
hey.
goalie? How's things? How's Mrs. Goalie after the bypass? Um, I'm just, we're good. Same old, different day, more stuff. Nick and I color coordinated for today. Oh, good. I'm glad she's
Oh,
good.
yeah. Yeah, she's good. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah,
Oh,
so I
he
really,
says,
oh,
I've got a big interview tonight on my channel. Who is it?
who?
Is it a live interview or is it pre-recorded?
Dying to know, because he was the one that taught me onto Dice and Fold, which I really, really enjoyed, and I should actually play a little tonight, just for fun. Now, how are you plugged in? No, you're just wired. You're wireless, right?
Yeah, I had to wire in, and the cable going to the outlet was like
To to
a little taut, so I had to like move it around the table leg in order to make it work.
yep,
Doesn't matter.
yeah,
My audio issues can be solved in 30 seconds with
yeah.
the change of a thing. Oh, he says big company in our hobby. Keith from Play Games. Cool.
Um, hey, goalie, good quick question. I've been meaning to ask you this, and this is very fortunate that you're here. What, sir, is the headset that you use for your show?
Mm.
Because once again, I am in the market for a headset because this is not a good solution. Cool. Keith from Play Games. There they are. So, what time is that? Let's see. I can. What I'm probably going to do is get a Scarlet 1v1 or actually might get a 2x1. So that way, if I ever go over to Nick's house, so we can use it together. But yes, okay, you got the Roadcaster. All right, because
Mm.
I'm so done with headsets that are just not like just randomly decide that they're not going to work. Just done with it when I'm traveling or going somewhere. And with microphones that sound like ass. I mean, I can get a really good, reliable Bluetooth headset that sounds awful. Like these. I have no idea what these sound like, but they're probably awful. The Shure SMB6. Wait, yeah, that's the Shure. The Shure is the headset that you use with the mic, right? The Shure SMB mic with the Rodecaster.
Sure, SM7B mic.
Yeah. All right. So, and by the way, what time is this interview? Because I want to watch it. Um, yeah, I've been playing Raid Rush. I've also been playing a little bit of that Dyson Fold, which is what Goalie had me play, recommended. Still a fun game, just a great little time waster game that, you know, it's a good strategy game. There's a progression levels. I progressed up to now King, which is great. It's all kind of based on cards. You start with a Jack, then you go to a Queen, then you go to a King, and
Is there
allows
one
you
higher?
to.
Is there an ace, or
I think
are
so.
you at the top? Have you
No,
maxed out?
no, I've not maxed out. There's
Oh.
way, 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 way more characters. Um,
Ah, Dave says 7 p.m.
all
7
right, so
p.m.
that's
Eastern time.
that's going to be 4 p.m. Western. So we got to be done by 4 p.m. so that everybody can switch over and raid and go over to Gullies. And is it going to be on YouTube or on Twitch? I'm assuming YouTube.
I also said
Yeah,
my
the
my
Audio
head.
Technica. That's what I thought. I thought it was an Audio Technica. All right. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do is the headset with the mic because that headset is very good. Okay, so yeah, on YouTube. All right, so you're going to be able to go to YouTube, and Goalie's YouTube channel can be found where? Have we already got this link for me? Can you throw that link in the chat so I can share it? I have a guest. Yes. Just gonna sit there and stare at me while I'm doing a podcast. Okay. All right.
Oh, she's
So
talking to the guest. I thought the guest was the cat
no,
because he
no,
said he's just going to
no.
sit there and stare at you.
Yes, it's not the cat. It's just somebody else is going to sit there and stare at me.
Okay.
He said this week ago is doing street hockey championships from Edmonton and Saskatoon from my house. So you were actually calling those games, which is kind of cool that you're calling
Yeah.
games from your house. By the way, when you are calling games, will you do us a favor and go into the Discord chat and let us know so that if it is streaming online, I would love to watch you call a game, especially, like a, street hockey championship. Yeah, remote broadcast. It's nice to work from home, especially when you're doing sports broadcasting. Yeah, just put that stuff in the Discord. And by the way, if you are not listening on the Discord, I mean you, whoever you are, nice to meet you. If you have not joined our Discord, please do so. There's the Discord channel. Please do that. And if you are watching now, and you haven't hit subscribe or hit the like button, please do so now. We'd appreciate it. So, do you want to start hitting news? Because it was a very, very, very big week for news this week. With
Yes. Yeah.
the
I'm done with games.
uh, yes. Sorry, I'm getting cues from the cue card guy. But there. So yeah, so let's hit. Wait for it. Let's turn off that and let's hit the news. Oh, we forgot to do the intro. Oh well. This is the GameHounds news, the news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer Edie and Nick Nicola. And our first item is.
We should do the intro right before we do the outro.
Okay, deal. We'll do that. All right, so our first item is SAG-AFTRA. SAG-AFTRA has called a strike on many video games. In fact, every video game that is currently in production, with some notable exceptions, is now officially on, or at least the voice actors are officially on strike. How is this going to affect development schedules? Probably pretty significantly,
Yeah, it
depending on
depends on the
where they
game.
are in the process. If they
Mm-hmm.
are, past that whole voiceover stage, then yeah, probably not. If they are, and as I recall, that's one of the last things that gets done. Actually, it's all done kind of simultaneously, but there's also like fixes at the end that they can do. Um, in general, the ones that are not affected, and the first thing that would happen was people flipped out because they thought Grand Theft Auto would be affected.
Like,
Um,
I
no,
no, it's not.
it's not. It's not affected.
Really? That's the
No,
one I
and
think
there's
would be affected the most because it feels like it's kind of at that stage in development where they'd be doing a lot of voice acting.
no,
But
yeah,
as Take-Two
it
said,
is.
we're good.
We're good, and here's why. Um, Games that were in production, and I'm assuming that they mean by in scheduled recording production before 2023, are not affected
Wait, why?
because I guess that they're working under a different contract or something. But so the SAG-AFTRA, and unfortunately it is not available to anyone but SAG-AFTRA members. I'm not SAG-AFTRA member anymore. I used to be. I'm not now. But SAG-AFTRA members, they have access to a database where you can put in the code name, and you actually either have to have the production code number for the contract or the code name. And you can look up to see if that production or that game is struck at the moment. And if you look at, and it's been widely noted for people that have looked it up, that if the code name for Grand Theft Auto is GTA 6 with a space in
That's
between.
not a
And if
code
you
name.
no, but you have to use GTA space 6. If you put in GTA, it's not going to look it up. If you put in GTA 6, it's not going to look it up. If
No,
you put up Grand
that
Theft Auto, it's not going to look it up. The code for GTA 6 is GTA number 6 with a space. If you look that up, it comes up that it is not on production hold at this time
huh.
because it had started production prior to a certain date. They don't go into
That
details about it.
hmm, that I feel like really takes away a lot of SAG-AFTRA's negotiating power in this situation because if voice acting is one of the last things that happens in a game's development, and a lot of the
Yeah,
games that use SAG-AFTRA voices are big budget games, which take 4 to 5 years to make. That means all these companies can basically put off doing voices for the next 4 years,
right.
and they're not actually affected.
Here's the way that it is explained on the site. Quote, while not struck, this game is produced by a struck company.
Mhm.
If you have been engaged under a daily contract for this game, you can show solidarity with your fellow union members by choosing not to sign new contracts on the game. However, you may work the game and will not be disciplined for doing so. So it
Yeah, I
has to
feel
do
like
about when the contract was signed
yeah, I
for
feel like the
them.
games industry looks at
They're
that and goes,
exempted.
"We're fine. We don't
Well,
care."
no, that's GTA. Here are some of the
No.
ones that are affected.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get it. Let's make sure I'm
I mean,
looking
that
at the
means they'd
right
have
one.
to have started production last year. So they're not even games that are close to coming out.
Yeah. Let's see. It looks like which games are struck. Let's see. Oh, by the way, this all has to do with AI.
Mhm.
And this is a really a very much an existential threat to voice actors and voice acting in general. I mean, I don't know if you heard about the guy that is being sued by Scarlett Johansson. Some big, actually, I believe it was ChatGPT
I
that is being sued by Scarlett Johansson because they asked her for her voice and she said no, so they just made her voice
Yeah, they
with
did it
AI.
anyways.
Right. Let's see. Do I have a list? It does not say. Which
Yeah, I
games
see.
could be affected? Let's see. Sports FC 25, Spider-Man 2,
Wait, Spider-Man 2
uh,
came out.
Call of Duty. Oh, sorry, the Call of Duty. Collective group of companies SAG-AFTRA is haggling with includes some of the biggest game studios and developers. Among them, Call of Duty maker. Okay, Call of Duty maker Activision, GTA publisher Take-Two, EA Sports FC 25 studio Electronic Arts, and Spider-Man 2 developer Insomniac Games. By the way, I'm reading from Evening Standard, Britain's Evening Standard. Let's see. It does. This is when they thought that GTA 6 might be part of it.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I feel like most of the games that this affects probably haven't even been announced yet.
yeah. Here are the. Is there a list of games? I'm looking for that.
I couldn't find a list of
Lego
games. I was
Marvel
looking.
Superheroes 2 is effective. Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. Isn't using Robin Dow's. At least they didn't for the reveal trailer. I'm looking at right here. Is just this is a forum talking about it. Um, let's see. Life is Strange prequel has now had a different voice for Chloe.
Oh,
Fire Emblem
okay.
Warriors got affected. Um,
Wait, that also came out. Is it? I wonder if
maybe
it's
oh, sorry,
DLC
I'm
or a
looking at this
sequel.
is an old one. Sorry, this is old. My bad.
Oh, I do know in the previous voice actor strike, actually Birch, who voiced one of the people from Life is Strange, didn't voice her for the sequel because of the strike.
Right.
But okay, big picture. I don't think this will affect the game industry anywhere near as significantly as it affected Hollywood. Like
No,
Hollywood,
no, no,
when
no,
you
no,
don't
no,
have
no.
actors
Yeah, that
or
screwed up
writers, like you
Dune.
can't do
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. That
Everything screeches to a
that
halt.
screwed up Dune. It screwed up. Right. It brought everything to a screeching halt. This is not that case. However, it is going to affect some games, not all the games. Maybe not a lot of the games that are even coming out in 2025 because they're probably already past that stage, that they're
Yeah,
in that exempt stage. So you're not going to see it affect next year, but depending how long this goes on, and it could go on for a very long time, you might see it affecting games the year after that.
yeah.
So just be aware that there is a strike going on. And given the nature of these strikes and the fact that it is not affecting some of the biggest games due to come out in the next 6 to 12 months, I would imagine this strike is going to go on for a very, very long time. That really the upset is not going to be seen by you as me as consumers first. It is going to be seen by developers first, and eventually going to be seen by us later. The way that we didn't see a problem with development chain stuff because of the pandemic until 2 years after the pandemic, and then it's like, oh yeah, things were definitely affected. So anyway, that's kind of the biggest news.
Uh, in similar news, or I guess related news, workers at Blizzard, and I can't tell if this is Blizzard or just World of Warcraft, have created a wall-to-wall union that if it's
Really?
just World of Warcraft, then it basically means everybody that worked on that game.
Right.
Because in the article that I can see, um, The group is specifically called uh the World of Warcraft Game Makers Guild. And that is what this new unit is called, as part of the CWA, the Communications Workers of America, which is a big union. Um, this includes 500 employees at Blizzard Entertainment. And it includes everyone from designers, engineers, artists, QA testers. This is in addition to the 60-person QA testers at Blizzard that were
Right.
previously unionized
Right.
before Microsoft bought Activision.
Right.
And Microsoft had before has part of like trying to butter up the world to justify them buying Activision. They preemptively said, "Hey, we'll recognize anyone that wants to unite. We won't
And
stand in
everybody's
the
like,
way of anything."
really? You will? Oh, that's good news.
And
Let's start a
so
union for
this
everybody in the company.
this feels like a, put your money where your mouth is situation. And they kind of just said, yeah, yeah, we recognize it. Like, what? We're not going to stand in the way. Yep.
You know it's all. You know it's going to
Yeah.
happen. They
Um,
recognize it right now until nobody's looking, and then they'll just torture those people
and
into.
that's the real, where the rubber meets the road is
Yeah,
sure, Xbox says we'll recognize it, but
they
what
say.
about when it actually
Right.
comes to
What
this?
happens when it really
Um,
comes to bear and they start talking about, like, hey, we're not okay with the work schedule that you are having us do that is going to kill us all and send us all to
no,
early
no,
graves
it's fine
and make
because
our wives and children's widows and orphans.
no, it's fine because Microsoft would just lay them all off.
Right.
But just, yeah, 500 people, whatever. Uh, but
It's
at least
seasonal downsizing. It happens all the
exactly.
time.
At least someone took advantage to call Microsoft bluff and
Hmm.
basically say, you know what, fuck it, let's do this.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. If there's one good thing to come out of the purchase of Activision, it's that maybe this will kind of be the thing that more spurs unionization in the gaming industry. Because
Right.
if people can do this at Microsoft, and if more of Microsoft's studios do this, then it becomes more likely that that spreads to studios outside of Xbox.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I think this is basically everyone working on World of Warcraft and not everyone at Blizzard.
Hmm. All right. So, what is your next item? I am sorry, I am distracted because I don't know if you see it, but the adaptive brightness on my laptop is driving me absolutely bonkers. And I'm going dark to light to dark to light. I'm sure it's driving you nuts. It's making me crazy right now. So I'm
Okay.
having to change that. Go ahead.
Well, in related news, why it's probably a good thing that unions exist in the industry.
Hmm.
Uh, Humble Bundle, or the company that does Humble Bundle, basically shut down Humble Games with kind of out of nowhere. This shutdown basically surprised even the developers who were working with Humble Games. And it's important to note, Humble Games and Humble Bundle are kind of separate entities. Humble
Right.
Games is the publishing arm of like the Humble company. Uh, that includes, I don't have a list of games in front of me right now, but you know, they publish games. And by shutting down Humble Games, that basically means, hey, all those developers we were working with, we're not publishing your game anymore. You just lost your publisher. And they were blindsided by it. A lot of the employees were blindsided by it. Humble Games has has since this came out, they've denied that it's not a total studio closure. It's just a restructuring that includes, laying off everyone who worked there. But it's
Oh,
not a closure. It's a restructuring.
Jesus.
And so yeah,
Well,
this it really sucks for the developers that they were working with because like I said, those developers just lost their publisher. Like
yep.
it's a shitty situation, especially to kind of come out of nowhere with no warning.
Yeah. Yeah, and but it's also not pretty typical to do that without warning. You wouldn't want to give warning for something like that.
No, but like you would at least kind of hope that the
Yeah,
people
no.
you're working with get some sort of heads up.
No, 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 no. This is not.
Yeah.
That's not a thing. You know, there's this is business. This is not friendship.
Yeah.
It's the
They
way
did
things
have a
go.
situation where the news of this broke because someone who was laid off posted about it in social media.
Hmm.
That's how this broke. That's how like little announcement there was.
God, what a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
you keep going. I'm still trying to freaking do things. Oh, this is so annoying. Good Lord.
okay,
Why?
okay. Oh, okay,
Why?
okay. I've got another pair of news stories that are related to each other.
Okay.
So, first of all, if you remember last week, I talked about how Apex Legends was changing its battle pass structure so that you could no longer use the currency you earned from leveling up in the battle pass to
Hmm.
purchase the next battle pass.
Okay.
In addition to a lot of other changes, like separating the battle pass into two battle passes so that now you had to buy two battle passes instead of just one.
Right.
It's fucking confusing. But importantly, they have retracted the point that you can no longer use those earned currencies to buy the battle pass.
Okay.
So before, they basically said, hey, battle passes are no longer purchasable with in-game currency. You have to use real money to purchase it. They've
Hmm.
retracted on that point. They're still going through with all the other changes. They're still separating out into two different levels. So, like, instead of a 100 tier battle pass, it's now like 260 level tiers. I don't play Apex Legends. This whole battle pass system is confusing as hell to me. But the larger point is that at least they retracted kind of the most frustrating bullshit part of this, which is the part that felt the most greedy, right?
Hmm.
Like, hey, we're no longer going to give you the ability to kind of earn your way into the new battle pass. We're going to force you to just use real money over and over and over again. And so this is not a total retraction, but it's at least a retraction of one of the more controversial and bullshit issues, which,
Hmm.
you know, sometimes you take the win you can get. It's not a total victory, but
Right.
it's also not a total loss. And
Yeah.
so that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Uh, i- in related news,
Hmm.
Concord, Sony's, upcoming live service first person shooter game,
Okay.
which has struggled. Oh shit! God damn it! I keep forgetting.
What?
2 weeks ago, there was an open beta of Concord on PlayStation, and I did play it.
Okay.
So I played some of this game, and I completely forgot to talk about it for the last 2 weeks, which should kind of tell you a lot about it. Um, which, like, yeah, I played it. It seemed good. It felt good to play. The characters kind of felt interesting, but at the end of the day, it's a hero-based shooter, and that means like I had to put a lot of homework into learning how each character played,
Uh-huh.
and I just didn't want to do that. So I played it for a bit. I had some fun with it, and then like that's it. But when a beta launched on Steam, it maxed out at a top of 2,500 players, which is not a lot.
No, that is not.
So
2,500 claims for the whole thing?
the whole thing, the
Oh
whole
my
beta,
God.
the maximum number of concurrent players for the beta during its open session, which was like I think a weekend or a week, 2,500.
Wow, that is seems not like it,
Yeah. So Concord needs some good news. It's been kind of getting kicked in the stomach and kicked while it's down a lot.
Uh-huh.
One of the things that they've announced in order to kind of drum up some more positive press is that Concord will not have a battle pass. It's basically a buy it once and you have the game. It
Okay.
is an old school multiplayer shooter in the vein of, Battlefield. Uh, what was the one that we played? Bad Company.
Uh-huh.
You know, those Xbox 360 era shooters. You buy the game once and you kind of have everything. Um, it won't have a lot of microtransactions in it. It will have some, I believe. But they basically said when you buy the game, you'll kind of get a whole hell of a lot of the live service content that comes with it. So that includes like a bunch of weekly animated episodes of
Mm-hmm.
the adventures of the Concorde crew. I think they put out one, and it's a very anime-esque like fight scene where some of the Concorde members go down to a planet, get into a firefight, come out at the end, right? But
So
it's
this is actually available? Could I look this up on YouTube?
I think it might be able to look up like Concord. Shit, I don't know what you'd be say like Concord episode 1. Um, but yeah, they have those, and there's a ton of cosmetics you can unlock. As I played through the beta, I think I unlocked a new pair of gloves, which you know is kind of one of the reasons that I stopped playing because it's a fucking pair of gloves for a
Yeah.
character that I didn't play with. So who cares? Um, but it is kind of nice to know that those cosmetics are just available, that I don't
Uh-huh.
have to purchase all of them individually, which is one of the things that I kind of got annoyed by at the finals,
Is this
which is
it?
that a lot of the coolest cosmetics I couldn't earn.
Right. Right. You had to buy.
Yeah.
See, this doesn't look like the television show. This looks like the game.
Yeah, there was a little animated thing, which the developers have said that, each week you'll get a new little animated episode of the characters.
Uh-huh.
I always assumed that that meant in-game animation. But
Oh.
I was watching the kind of funny um, shows, one of their shows. I don't know, I forget which one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they were showing like an anime-esque animated one. I think this might actually be the opening cutscene.
Oh, okay.
I might
Well,
have seen
maybe
this.
not. All right. Well, then let me pull this out and see if I can find something else that I think.
Yeah, let me see.
There's Day in the Life, episode 1 of the Concord Police Department. Concord Free Gunner Adventures, Crew First, PC, PS5, and PC games. Oh, this might be it right here. The Free Gunner Adventures?
Oh, yes, Free Gunner Adventures. That's what it is.
Yeah, okay. So it looks like that's what this is, and it looks like this. That looks more like it.
That's it. That's what I saw.
See, that looks cool.
Yeah. And so the idea that you'd get kind of a weekly episode, a weekly anime episode like this, just like, hey, further adventures of the Concorde crew
And
with,
the animation actually looks really good.
yeah, it's like this could be a potentially really interesting twist on the live service game. One of the things people hate
Yeah.
about Overwatch is that Overwatch is filled with a bunch of really interesting characters with like no narrative around them.
Right, exactly.
And so to
They
do
just
this,
essentially did the right thing is they took it to its logical conclusion of to create a show around these characters, which I'm
yeah,
really surprised Overwatch hasn't done. It's
so
kind of
yeah,
made for it.
honestly, they probably should have like led with this in the beginning
Yeah.
instead of waiting so long. But could be interesting. At the end of the day, it's still a live service game, and so what I played seemed good, but ultimately not what I'm into personally. Um,
Mhm.
and it's kind of unfortunate that the game, like I said, what I played seemed perfectly decent, but is just getting shit on left and right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad to see a game like flop before it's even come out. A game that it seems like audiences have rejected before they've even played it. Um,
Right.
so
Right.
I wish the developers the best of luck.
It looks
I'd hate to
cool,
be in that
and the
situation.
anime actually looks much better to me than the show. I might be interested in the anime and not. I'm sorry, the anime looks better to me than the game. I
Yeah.
might be interested in the anime and not play the game because the game is not my cup of tea. But the
And it might be
anime looks
worth then
awesome.
it might be worth saying, I believe that like they only put out this anime episode as a promotional tool. I think
Right.
that otherwise you won't be able to access it unless you buy the game. Right? I think
Right.
all those videos would only be accessible in game unless someone rips it and posts it to YouTube, which let's be honest, people probably will.
That's gonna do. But I mean, think about this: is that we finally have a game that is a live service game that does not have a battle pass. It's not predatory, and yet it's not getting, and it's got this anime to go with it. So they're committed to this, Concord cinematic universe. And I just this people being like, meh,
I
it's all
think
the
part of
things
it
that
is
everybody
because
wanted, and now they're not interested when they're getting it.
I think it's because when it was announced, none of those things were what they focused on.
Right.
All the stuff
Right.
they focused on
It was
were
just
the live
just
service
another live
cliches
service. Yeah, it
that
seemed like just another live
everybody
service.
hated. Um, and I also think like maybe some of this is a pivot. Like maybe they did have a battle pass, but at a certain point they were like, "Fuck, Sony, we need to get rid of the battle pass. We look
Right.
2,500 players. We need some good press. So
Yeah.
let us remove the battle pass and do something."
Yeah.
Uh, But yeah, when they announced it, all they showed was live service cliches. They didn't show any of the things that would set it apart. They didn't show all they talked about, oh yeah, we'll have animated episodes weekly. But they didn't show anything. And when you don't have anything to show, like when you can't prove that you'll be different, you're just asking people to take it on faith. And it's kind of hard to do that.
Mhm. All right. Well, we'll have to see how that goes. Do we have a release date for Concord?
I think it's sometime in August.
I might be interested in just jumping in to see. And maybe that is because of the differentiation that they're making. Now, they're making it clear to me what would attract me to this game. Lack
Mm,
of the battle pass, that it's got this tie-in. That actually is bringing me, the undecided middle, into this idea of maybe I wanna try it, especially if they had a good demo or if it's free to play for,
well,
at
it's
least
not
for
free
a
to play.
period of time,
That
for a small period of time so that I could at least try it and decide if I like it before
maybe
I
they need a
commit.
second. Yeah.
Yeah, they needed either a second beta or an open demo. There's no reason why they can't have a good demo on it, the 2 weeks beforehand, or at least after at the point of release, if they put out a solid demo that you and I can play and decide if we like, that might be something that we're interested in. But I'm way more interested in Concord than I ever would be in something like Overwatch or any other live service, just simply for the lack of the season pass.
Yeah.
The
Um,
anime just makes it even more so.
yeah. And like I said, I wish them the best of luck. I played it. It felt like a live service game. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's one of those. I see what
Yep.
you're doing. Seems decent, but not my thing. Good luck.
Yeah. So, what else you got?
Uh, well, ahead of the PSVR 2 releasing a PC adapter in March, oops, a Steam app is
Oh, and
available.
also did you see the PSVR, uh, the price drop in Europe?
No, I
They
didn't actually.
dropped it like £100 over in Europe. It's actually cheaper in Europe than it is in the United States right now. I went and looked too. I was like, "Oh, wow, it's down to like 250 euros." It's like, "Oh, but it's still 350 in the United States," or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Yeah.
So the Steam app is not available for purchase yet.
Uh-huh.
It's available for pre-order, which is weird because I don't know how much it will cost.
Well, let's find out. You can keep talking. I'll find out. And
Yeah, I
everybody
mean,
else in the chat room will probably look this up too.
okay.
PS
Well, I'm looking at the Steam page. And in the search bar, when you look for it, it says free. But when you're on the Steam page, it just says planned release date August 6th. Add
PSVR
to your wish
PC
list.
adapter is now official, and it's going to be $59.99.
That's the PC adapter. That's the hardware that you need to get the
Okay.
VR2 headset to work on a PC. The
Right.
Steam app is basically a piece of software that will allow the headset to work with VR games on Steam.
Oh, Steam app.
Yes. And I do believe that it is free.
That makes sense. It would be free.
I mean, it doesn't have to be. I could totally see Sony or Valve trying to
The
charge you for it.
adapter, which costs, will release when PC. Let's see. According to Tech Radar, PSVR app on Steam page is now live. The appearance of the Steam page, as well as, and I'm reading this directly out of Tech Radar. The appearance of the Steam page, as well as the app's August 6th launch date, lines up with what was detailed in Sony's announcement of the PSVR 2 PC adapter back in June. That will cost $60 or £50. It's going to roll out August 7th. So on August 7th, the PC adapter comes out for $60. On August 6th, there is a Steam app launch
Yes.
for
And
that.
as I look closer, it will be free. And
It
so,
will be free, but you do need a PC adapter in order
oh,
to do the
yes.
first time set it before the headset on Steam. So if
Yes.
you buy the app and the adapter, you will be able to play games on Steam, which makes sense because otherwise, why have a PC adapter if you can't play on Steam? You
Well,
know, the number one source of VR games
I think
in the
what it
world.
mainly is just like a nice bit of usability.
Hmm.
You could totally get the headset and probably play a game on Steam, but I imagine without the app, it would be a lot of configuration and settings tweaking for
Right,
every
right,
game.
right,
With the
exactly.
app, I hope that what it does is it kind of takes all those away so that the thing
Right.
just
It
works.
off well loads it, so it's
Yeah.
just, you just plug it in and it works seamlessly. Plug and
Although
play for
it's
Steam.
worth saying that a lot of the features of the VR2 headset won't work on PC.
Hmm.
It will have rumble, but it won't have the eye tracking or the dynamic resolution adjustment. Because
Right.
one of the things the VR headset 2 will does on PlayStation is it uses eye tracking to tell where you're looking, and it makes those spaces higher resolution than the places around it.
Hmm.
So similar to the way a camera works, right? Where you've got a depth of field. The stuff behind you, is blurry. No,
Right.
come on, come on. Fucking camera's too good. It's not changing. God damn it. You know what I'm
Well,
talking about.
yes.
Um the headset too, the headset will kind of automatically adjust that based on where you're looking, which is a really cool
Oh,
feature.
mine does is really good too. It's not doing it. Wow. It's really not.
But that feature is not available on the PC.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. It's just doing very well. Maybe I need to sit back even further.
Right? When you don't want it to change, it always changes. But the
It does.
moment that we're
The
actually
moment
trying
you
to make it
actually try
change,
to make it change, it won't.
it's
And it
not.
just did it for you the other when you sat down. It did it when you
Yes.
sat down.
Fucking technology.
I know, I hate things. Things are bad. All right, so next item.
My last item is that Stalker 2, and I don't think I actually had a banner for this because
Okay.
I forgot, but Stalker 2 has been delayed by
Again,
two months.
hold on a second, T dot A dot L dot K dot E dot R dot 2. Okay. Delayed by how long?
Two months. Or 3 months. It was originally planned to come out on September 5th, and it will now launch on November 20th.
Do we know why?
They just say, give us a chance to fix unexpected anomalies.
This
bug.
is the one that got delayed because is this the one that got delayed because of the Ukraine war that they had to
Yeah.
move everybody out of Kiev and out into Poland?
Yes, the developers
And
were
this
in
is
Ukraine.
yeah. So yeah, we're giving Stalker 2 a pass. A lot of
Yeah.
passes this time.
It's
Stalker
a
3 maybe not so much.
it's a little funny because the video that announces this delay is called "Really Again?"
Let me look this up. I gotta find this. Hold
So
on a
it
second.
seems that developers are at least kind of having a bit of a fun time with this, which I think people looking forward to this game, like it's not being delayed a year. It's not being delayed 6 months. It's still coming out before December, which is nice.
Yep,
A
yep,
delay of 3 months is generally like one of the nicer delays a game could get.
yeah. And there it is right there. Really? Again? So yeah, this is
Hey Siri said the camera is so good that we now have Edie's fingerprints to fake crimes with.
there you go. Right there. There it is. And we found out, Nick and I found out that my fingerprints are unusual, actually.
Oh yeah, that's right. We went to the Mob Museum with Pilot Chris and
Right. And I
learned what
have
type of
arches
fingerprints we have.
and whorls. Most
Oh,
people either have arches or whorls. I have arches and whorls.
that means your fingerprints are very unique.
And my
They're
fingerprints
they're
are
very
very unique.
easy to identify.
Yeah, yeah. In fact,
Mm.
yeah, I Chris and I would make really terrible criminals because he's hard to hide. I mean, you can pick him out in a lineup pretty easy. He's 6'8", hard to miss. And
Mm.
then my fingerprints are completely unique because they've got like, I mean, everybody's are completely unique, but mine are particularly unusual because of the presence of what was it, arches and whorls. Yeah, so I really don't, not really made for a life of crime. All right. So yeah, I mean, if they were gonna give a pass to any game for being delayed, certainly like you said, 3 months, not that's not so bad. But if you're ever gonna give a pass to a game, good Lord, this is the reason why. They get a lot of passes, and they've gotten a lot of passes for the last few years. When
Yeah.
this game comes out, good, bad, or indifferent, I am purchasing it, and I'm purchasing it like not if it's even if it's free, I'm purchasing it just to show solidarity for these
Excuse
poor
me.
fools who, in the middle of their process, had to upend and send people out. And meanwhile, some of their own developers, of the people that they work for, were drafted into the army or voluntarily left to go to the army. Some of them were killed. So, yeah, many, many, many of them lost their homes. We're going to make a point. I'm going to make a point of making sure that they see my love for them. Because, I mean, good, bad, or indifferent, they deserve at least someone to give them a break for that. It says, you messed up letting people catalog you. You should have taken the risk as a child. True. All right. Anything else before we close out the show?
Um, I was just looking for other news, and I saw that a trailer for Amazon's Yakuza series came
Oh,
out.
really?
But as I'm watching it, it's one of those like teaser trailers that doesn't really show you a whole lot. It's mainly a very, very extreme close up of someone getting a tattoo, interspersed with like very, very quick clips of the show, which really doesn't
What
say
is it?
much at all.
Yakuza, Amazon Prime trailer. Okay. All right. So here we are. We are looking at it now. Yeah, that's what all that is.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, well, you like skip ahead halfway through and you get like the most. It's like, oh, okay, it's people. It looks like a gangster Asian gangster show, right? People
Yeah, it's
in
exactly what you
fancy
expect it to look
clubs,
like.
lots of money, a tattoo, someone looking brooding, guys in suits.
with fights and yeah, like katana coming out and people keep beating each other up, and of course the Yakuza style, very colorful tattoo,
Yeah. It's
like a dragon,
like
like
oh
a dragon, touched for the very first time. Sorry, it's in my head now.
oh yo oh complete digression.
Yeah, I know.
I started watching House of the Dragon season 2.
Oh, really? I have to watch that.
Fuck, it's
Is it good?
one episode, and I'm like, God, when like there was a reason Game of Thrones like became the phenomenon that it did because like
Yeah.
that shit is good. That shit is so good.
Oh man, I may have to watch that tonight.
Did you see the first
There,
season?
of course, yeah, I watched the
Oh, okay.
entire first season coming back from Bali on the plane.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I just binged the whole damn season.
God, I won't spoil anything, but it's like
So
you watch the first episode, and it's like a bunch of people kind of
I have to remind myself how it ended.
there's a recap, but
Okay,
like
good.
it's a bunch of people reconciling with the big major thing that happened at the end of the first season. And it's like a lot of that, it's just a lot of people talking. But like watching this show reminded me that like when you have good dialogue and like well realized characters,
Yeah.
people talking can be really, really compelling.
Yes.
But then it ends and you're like, Jesus Christ. Things if there wasn't like bloodshed before, there's gonna be bloodshed now. It's like,
Oh my God,
oh,
I can't wait to watch it. Now
everything
I
just
see.
escalated to a whole nother level. And it's like,
See,
oh,
I've been getting off camera like, hey, do you want us to stick around and we're gonna go see a movie together? We're gonna go see either Twisters or Wolverine,
mm,
the versus Wolverine. And it's like, do you want us to stick around? I'm like, 20 minutes, dude. I'll be done. I'm like, you don't see it, but I'm giving like hand signals like 2-0, 2-0. and and now all I want to do is be like, no, you go. I'm gonna I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch because now I want to watch that. I don't want to see a movie.
yeah, oh, it's so good.
Oh man, we should have watch parties together.
We could. I mean, the thing is, like, I my watch schedule is completely random. Um,
Oh.
I have no consistency in it. Like the House of the Dragon has been coming out weekly for like the past 6 weeks, and I just
Hmm.
started it because I was watching some of The Boys because The Boys finished.
Oh, I haven't watched The Boys yet.
The Boys is a little up and down, but Jesus Christ,
It's so good.
it's
There are
it's
so many good shows. When
it's
hits,
too
it hits
real.
great. Yeah.
It's too real.
Is it really?
Uh-huh.
Oh. I
By the
may have
time
to make I
by
may
the
have to
time
make
it
Chris watch
ends,
this.
oh, it's a little up and down, but it ends very well. And
Okay.
yes, AC Wraith reminds us that we still have to watch Tucker and Dale vs. Evil.
Yes. All right. When are we going to do that? We can't do it not
When's a
next
good time for
Saturday.
you?
Can't do it next Saturday because next Saturday I am going to a Jays game. Um, I don't think I have anything going on Wednesday or Thursday night. Do it the first.
Okay, can't
We
do
could
it.
do it
What day?
Friday night.
Wednesday,
We could
the
do it Wednesday
first.
night. Could do that.
Okay,
Okay, so Wednesday night, the 31st, we will make it at, oh, cannot do it the 31st. Damn it, that's the one night I can't do it. I have a PRNC meeting at 6 o'clock.
could you do
So
it Tuesday?
Thursday, I could do it Tuesday the 30th.
Let's do it Tuesday.
Okay, so let me make absolutely sure of this. Let me look at my actual work schedule instead of talking out of my ass and making promises I can't keep, which happens. Okay, Tuesday, I have got nothing. Oh, but I need to, yes, I definitely need to make the emergency new appointment, PRNC meeting. Okay. Yeah, there we go. All of a sudden it popped in. All right, everything popped in. So Tuesday I have nothing. So absolutely. Let's do Tuesday night. Let's make it at, let's see, 6 o'clock. Let's see, that's pretty late for the East Coast. Let's make it at,
Oh, you want to do it earlier than 6?
okay, let's do it at 6 then. 6 p.m.
Jesus Christ, I stopped working at 6.
Okay, 7 p.m. 7
Okay,
to
that's at
9.
least a
So
little.
that's going to be 10 to midnight on your guys' end.
Okay, and so I assume you want to stream this on Discord.
We'll stream this on Discord.
Okay, that means I'll have to watch it in this room,
Mm-hmm.
which shouldn't be too much of an issue. Actually, where is this movie available?
That's a good question. That is not up to me. That is up to you. Anybody want to research that when it's where it's available?
Oh, available on Tubi. Geez, it's available to rent and buy everywhere. But okay, we might get a little bit of ads. It's available on Tubi and Plex, so you might get
You
like.
can. Well, where didn't you buy it somewhere? We'll just buy it. We'll rent it. I'll rent
Well,
it.
why rent it when I could just like you watch 2 minutes of ad beforehand, and I
I don't want to
won't
watch.
stream
I don't want to
those.
watch ads. I don't want to watch ads. I don't want to watch ads.
You won't. You won't. I will take that bullet for you, and I will only stream it out to the world.
It's not going to stop
after
it in
the
the
ad.
middle of the show and give me an ad.
No, Tubi doesn't do that.
Okay. All right.
Which
All right.
motherfucker? I know Amazon made this change like earlier this year, but on Watching the Boys, it has ads at the beginning and the middle of the show. It
Oh, in the
interrupts it with ads
middle.
because
Oh.
Amazon added a premium tier, but that premium tier costs extra. So
Right.
everyone that gets Prime Video has part of the Amazon Prime package. All of a sudden, we all got stuck with ads.
Ooh,
And it's fucking annoying.
yeah, I could see that get you. I could see that definitely would get you. Oh, hey, by the way, Goalie's interview is going to be in 3 minutes
Yes.
over on YouTube. So why don't we, Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, join us in Discord for Eaters, Tucker and Dale versus Evil reaction, which is going to be actually not much of a reaction from the sound of it. But I think it's all of us just going to be watching. We're going to have a watch party.
You can laugh. You might not
Right.
scream,
Right.
but it's a comedy movie.
Right. So we'll all enjoy watching Tucker and Dale versus Evil on Discord together, and it will be fun, and I will look forward to it. So, all right. So since we didn't have an outro, oh, that's right. We wanted to play the intro with the outro. All right, here's the intro.
Podcast discusses video games, modern culture, and technology. And these
all right, is that enough of it, or we want to do the rest?
I don't know. You can
all right, no. Here we go. Easy offended. Please stop this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
And your mom says to take out the trash and do your
Hold
homework.
on. And now we're gonna end the intro, and then we're gonna go straight to the outro. Let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds, episode 723. We recorded this on Sunday, April 28th, 2024. I'm Edie Sellers. With me has been Nikki Nicola. Ways to get a hold of us: gamehounds.net is our website. Gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Facebook, we are GameHounds. YouTube, we are GameHounds Vids, VIDS is in videos, and on Twitch, we're the GameHounds. Please feel free to join us at any of those places next week. And of course, remember, in our Discord, which here is the link for the Discord, bringing it up right here. There's the link for the Discord. Please feel free to join us in our Discord Tuesday at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Eastern, that's 7 p.m. Pacific. We will be watching Tucker and Dale versus Evil as a closed watch party. So join us in Discord. We would love to have you join us, and you can actually see me not being scared at a zombie or at a slasher movie for once. We are 100% funded through our Discord. You're the guys that keep our lights on, and for all of you that do, it is deeply, deeply appreciated. $1 a month is all we ask. That helps pay for the subscriptions to StreamYard and the all the other things that we have to have subscriptions for to make things work on the back end. So thank you so much to all of you who do participate. Our patrons are very much loved by us. So if you would like to become one of them, $1 a month is all we ask. Patreon.com/GameHounds. And a huge, 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 huge thank you to AC Ray, our link bitch, who is here every single week, almost uniformly the first person in. Occasionally Blood Reaper does beat him, but you don't get enough credit for what you do. You are the one thing that sometimes keeps me from just going, fuck it. So thank you for being that stopgap, for being that one thing that sometimes makes me just wake up and do this show. Thank you. And thank you to all of you, because if it weren't for you, I would not be here. Nick, we will see you on Tuesday. Everybody else, have a great week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. All right. So, also, when there was something else I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah,
Music.
actually opened Talking Day vs. Evil on Tubi and was kind of skimming through it, and I didn't get any ads.
Okay, then.
Maybe my ad blockers are working.
Maybe. There was something else I wanted to ask you about, and I can't remember. I had it. It was in my brain, and then I lost it because I have not had my brain drugs in a couple of days. And boy, I can sure tell. I can't think. It's 4:00. Yeah, what it was. It was something important I wanted to tell you. But anyway, everyone have a great week. We will talk to you next week. You can tell that the door just got opened because now the wind is blowing through. We will see you, and maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe we will also be able to give you a review of either Twisters or Wolverine versus Deadpool versus
Deadpool
Wolverine,
versus
or whatever.
Wolverine.
Yeah. I'm not sure which it's going to be, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
At the
Yeah,
very
we're
least.
actually seeing that Monday. Rachel wanted to see that one, so we're going.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, AC Ray. Have a great week. Everybody else in the chat room, thank you so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget, go over to Goalie's channel right now. It has just started his interview with Keith from Play Games. Go check it out right now. Bye.